When no one is watching me, I'm super good at Minecraft. In fact, I'm probably the best at Minecraft. I'm like the best ever at Minecraft, but only while nobody is watching me. As soon as somebody starts watching me play, it just what happens. I just choke. Hello, YouTube! Today we are watching how Minecraft's #1 player got revealed as a total fraud. I love Minecraft. I love me some block games, but I also love watching cheaters get exposed. Who even cheats a cube? We're gonna find out.
Money. It makes the world go round, with people willing to do almost anything to get more of it. In fact, money is so important that it can dictate how society behaves as a whole. If it paid to be kind, then people would be kind. But if it paid more to be evil, then people would simply turn evil. More specifically, if it paid to fake your gender and fake your skill level to millions of people for years by hacking and cheating, some would willingly choose to do so if it was profitable.
Okay. So yes, if it's profitable, but also if it gets you internet fame. People will do anything for just a little crumb of internet fame. You know what I mean? People for internet fame will go absolutely crazy. Even if they don't make a ton of money off of it, they will go crazy for even just a little tiny crumb of internet fame and notoriety. I'm not showing my feet for internet fame though. Yeah, for clout. Do whatever you can for clout. That's the real currency, clout. Clout chasing. Clout is the currency everyone speaks.
Profitable. However, you'd have to be a very special kind of degenerate to do those things, all while planning to publicly fake your own suicide once you were inevitably exposed to be a fraud. Meet Marloww, who for years was considered to be the most skilled player to ever exist in Minecraft PvP. In parallel to that, though, they'd be running a totalitarian regime that would ban and blacklist anyone who doubted or criticized them, throwing all women under the bus by claiming that any and all valid criticisms against them were rooted in misogyny. This would be the community status quo for far too long. And now finally, after all these years of manipulation, silencing, and bullying of critics, Marloww has finally been exposed to be the ultimate Minecraft fraud who faked everything, even down to their gender, with undeniable proof. And so, seeing how much of an unprecedented disaster this all is, and how confusing it might be to someone who's not part of the Minecraft PvP community, I figured we had to talk about it. And so, without further ado, let's do this. Alright, so if you haven't been living under a rock for the last 2 decades, you probably know what Minecraft is. And when it comes to most people, they recognize it as the sandbox survival game, otherwise known as Minecraft Vanilla. Some others might recognize it differently, modding the game heavily with visual and gameplay.
This reminds me of a story I heard about a girl who pretended to be a sad e-boy on Neopets. Who would do that? Who would do such a thing?
Play enhancements and pretty much making it into an entirely different game. However, another sizable chunk of this game's player base will look at it purely from a PvP perspective, going up against other players to prove their skill in numerous game modes. And for someone who doesn't play PvP at all, this is where things get very confusing because these game modes are very different from the gameplay.
This video is structured like a high school English essay. You gotta explain it first. That's what video essays are. They're all just high school English essays. If you wrote a good essay in high school, you'd probably make a good video essay too. I hate it when vids about a niche topic start with like, as you may or may not know, Minecraft is a computer game that you play with blocks on your computer. You ever hear of Legos, you unk? Well, Minecraft is just like Legos for your PC.
You've come to expect in vanilla or even modded Minecraft. One of these PvP game modes, for example, is called UHC, where both players start with the same exact loadouts, having to use a mix of building, laying things down on the terrain, and also using their weapons and defending all at the same time. Another game mode is called Nethbot, which
Minecraft is what we call a video game because it runs on video. Minecraft videos go crazy though.
Literally just involves you throwing pots at each other, with many of them having different abilities and effects. However, one of the most popular and probably the most confusing game mode for new players is Crystal PvP. Here's some gameplay, and yes, it's totally normal if you have literally no idea what's going on.
Crystal PvP is where they fight over me, Iska.
on. It mostly involves using a mix of obsidian blocks as well as ender crystals to kill the other player. How did
Is
people
this
come up with this
Fortnite?
concept? Well, that's a 1-hour video by itself. The point is, this game has over 200 million monthly active users that play it, and a good chunk of them play only PvP. This is what they focus on. But here's the deal.
Minecraft Crystal PvP is you have to dress up in your Iska skin and you have to close your eyes while you play because that's the only way you can play as Minecraft as badly as I do.
When you focus on something for so long and want to get better at it, there's a question that starts to pop up in the community. Who are the best players for each game mode? In fact, who's the best of them all? And seeing that all these servers with all these different game modes are unofficial, they're simply not affiliated with the official game or its developers, most had given up on the idea of coming up with a ranking system. But that would of course be until mctiers.com would come along. MC Tiers would be a community-driven effort to rank players in all 8 of these different game modes. This would all be done through its PvP server.
Hey, can you explain what unofficial means, please? I'm lost.
On Minecraft, called mcpvp.club. Its founders were mainly 3 people: Enz, Learn, and of course, Marloww. And the way it worked wasn't very simple, actually. In a nutshell, though, MC Tiers would have a Discord for every single one of these game modes. So Crystal PvP, UHC, POT, NetOp, etc., etc. It will be open to anyone. And let's say you wanted to test out your Crystal PvP level, you would join the server, join the waitlist, and eventually get tested. And the way it would work wouldn't be MMR based like games similar to Valorant or Overwatch. You would have people in the voice call with you, watching you play and examining your playstyle as you go up against all these different tiers. There'd be 5 of these tiers.
That is crazy. I think I would choke immediately. If I was in a voice call with people and I was like, I know they're watching me and judging my skill level, I would choke instantly. I would not be able to do that. That adds such a layer of stress on top of everything. I could not handle that. I would instantly choke. I can't even do a YouTube intro live.
Tier 5 being the worst and Tier 1 being the best. This meant that when it came to this community-driven effort, trust...
That's the only reason why I'd choke. I'm really good otherwise. When no one is watching me, I'm super good at Minecraft. In fact, I'm probably the best at Minecraft. I'm like the best ever at Minecraft, but only while nobody is watching me. As soon as somebody starts watching me play, it just what happens. I just choke.
Was at its forefront. You were trusting the people examining everyone to do this in a non-biased way and to the best of their ability. But of course,
there's no way to make that unbiased,
this system had a lot of its critics. When confronted, though, the response would always be the same. Do you have any better ideas? No one in the community had come close to making something like this. And in fact, today, if you type on Google Minecraft PvP, the first thing you'll see is MC Tiers rankings. View Minecraft's best combat players or participate in the ranked community. To many people in Minecraft's sizable PvP community, this was the official ranking for the best players in the world.
That's crazy because I didn't even hear about that at all. I didn't even know this ranking existed until today.
World, period. And speaking of
I thought I was up to date on all of my Minecraft drama.
Of the website, you'd always manage to see her in the top 3 best players of all time on the leaderboard. This right here is the first version of mctiers.com, which came out shortly after the pandemic, around the early 2020s. By then, for most people, the player It's Real Me was the best Minecraft PvP player of all time. But Marloww would always be close second. The gap between It's Real Me and Marloww was always very wide to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th players. They were always in a league of their own, and there's a reason for that. This overall leaderboard would combine all the 8 game modes together for your overall rank. It's Real Me and Marloww were constantly in the top ranks of every single game mode. And to make you understand...
Okay, I feel like that... I feel like that had to be instantly suspicious, right? Like, come on. That had to be instantly suspicious. You helped found the site and you are somehow the top of every single leaderboard. Like, you're one of the owners of the site. Like, you think, like, even just... like, the fact that it's, like, not MMR based and it's, like, testing based too alone is like, oh, okay. Like, someone clearly had bias for you. Also, yeah, if this is about, like, exposing them for actually cheating the whole time, like you got a little greedy here. Pick one.
Understand what this means, this is like someone who is a NASCAR driver that also happens to be a rally race car driver and who also happens to be a Formula One driver all at the same time. Just because you know how to drive a car doesn't mean you can be good at all these things combined. And it's the same thing here. Just because you're good at one of these game modes doesn't mean you're good at all of them. They all require different strategies, keybinds, and an insane, ridiculous learning curve. But both It's Real Me and Marloww made it look easy. They were dominating in every single one. But the thing is, to many, Marloww was yet on another level. At some point, she beat one of the best PvPers in Minecraft 100-0. Yes, they fought together 100 times, and she didn't let him win once.
That's also really suspicious. Like, no matter how good you are, right? I feel like no matter how good you are, unless you're playing against someone who is like absolute dog shit, like has never touched the game before in their life, like they're gonna get lucky at least once out of 100 times. It's super unrealistic.
Clown Pierce got absolutely destroyed, utterly owned, and it only served to show why Marloww was so close to beating the best player of all time in rankings soon. For the Minecraft PvP community, and as recently as 2025, many were in agreement. The best player of all time in Minecraft PvP is Marloww. No argument, no questions asked. This level of skill definitely came with its advantages, with Marlow's YouTube channel reaching over 400,000 subscribers and any video they'd upload getting hundreds of thousands, if not over a million views consistently, generating substantial revenue and getting their name more and more known within the community. That's without mentioning all the collabs she'd do on YouTube.
They're a little too focused on the fact that she just like pretended to be a girl. I mean, listen, I think that's a pretty common tactic on the internet, you know, to like pretend to be a girl or whatever so that you get like favored treatment. I do feel like that's a pretty common tactic.
With some very well-renowned YouTubers
I
always
can pretend to be a
the video
girl.
as, I fought the best Minecraft player in this, or I got trained by the world's best Minecraft player in this. And what's interesting is that these channels weren't necessarily PvP oriented, so you had the casual Minecraft crowd that watch YouTube videos be aware of her existence and her unprecedented skill. And so, to the average bystander, Marloww had essentially made it. They had worked hard to become one of the best players in the world, and now they finally were able to start reaping the benefits. But you'd be mistaken to think that this was all sunshine and rainbows.
Listen, I can tell you from pretending to be a fake boy failures.
Marloww had seemingly, for some people, come out of nowhere. And just like that, beaten players that have had so many years of exposure in the community made them.
When playing Valorant with this name, people assumed I was a girl and would flame me for being a girl until I spoke. I mean, see, it's pretty easy though. Like, you know, because especially if you're gonna super cheat, I kind of get it though, because if you're gonna super cheat, then when people start calling you out for cheating and stuff, you can be like, they just hate me because I'm a girl, which like, yeah, some people probably were, but also no. Like, you can't use that card.
Looked like they were amateurs, like they couldn't even play the game. On top of that, this was a community that had very few women in it. Minecraft PvP is mostly male oriented. And in a leaderboard that has very few, if not zero women, you'd see one woman come in and get to second place, trailblazing over everyone else. And so if you've been on the internet for long enough, you'd know that all these things combined, especially with the very chaotic Minecraft community, would lead to one of the most unstable periods in Minecraft PvP history, in which Marloww, at the center of all this, would be subject to massive harassment and criticism. What would follow from that chaos, though, would be Marloww cementing her power like no one could have ever imagined. Dream, a name typically synonymous with cringe or vomit, is a YouTuber who at some point was one of, if not the biggest Minecraft YouTuber of all time. This was during the pandemic, getting over 100 million views on some of his videos, as well as 34 million subscribers.
I mean, he kind of knew what he was doing.
On June 11th, 2020, claimed to have beaten the Minecraft speedrun world record. An incredible feat, but also very divisive. You see, this would lead an unprecedented amount of people to examine every single second of his gameplay and determine that there was something.
He wasn't even top 20. He didn't claim that. Yeah, no.
Statistically, to occur
even with his cheating, he wasn't
the same run, to the point where it's almost impossible.
He only got super scrutinized. He probably would have totally gotten away with this if he wasn't like as divisive of a figure as he was. Because it wasn't that big of a deal.
He centered on some item drop rates that would allow him to finish the game so damn quickly. When confronted with this, Dream would time and time again deny this vehemently, saying that he didn't cheat, it was legit, and even trying to prove that in numerous ways. In fact, by December 2020,
the astrophysicist was really cringe.
That he would famously hire a Harvard astrophysicist.
The Harvard guy writing like a full-on essay to prove that he didn't do it was like, that was pretty bad.
To write a 20-page report as to why Dream didn't cheat. Yes, it sounds
crazy.
as ridiculous as you might think, and it actually did happen. I still can't believe it to this day. What's most important to point out here is that after this paper and after he tried to disprove it multiple times, his fanatical community, who was extremely big and parasocial at the time, would attack, bully, harass anyone who disagreed.
True.
Anyone who'd make a video about this would get bombarded with dislikes.
What is this report? This report is a discussion of the Minecraft speedrunner Dream, who during live streams with speedrunning attempted experience very low probability events over a seemingly specific length of time. I'm gonna spray my throat. Beware.
With bad comments. It really set this side of the internet ablaze. Anyone who was a part of the Minecraft community was aware of this. But even so, they didn't let go of this. They weren't going to let him get away with it. And only after a few more months of
this report did say something like it's not literally impossible, but it's pretty rare.
pressure by the community would Dream finally let go. By May 2021, Dream would write this massively long Twitter post admitting that he cheated, but that he had no idea. He had something installed on his PC, he had forgotten to remove it or something, and oh man, it just so happened to be there and I did it. How unfortunate. Cheating accidentally happens to the best of us. Well, I'm sure that when he cheated in February 2026, he did that on accident too. But that's a completely
really
different
going
story.
In on Dream.
All you need to understand is that Dream has quite an impressive cheating resume, okay? And unfortunately, this says a lot about the community. If he said this immediately, people probably would have just been like, they would have believed it, and it wouldn't have blown up nearly as much as it did, I think. Biggest Minecraft YouTuber at the time
dug a very
was
deep
able
hole.
to pull off a cheating scandal, then what the hell is stopping everyone else? Nothing, which is what we've been seeing.
I don't know if I'd say he could pull. I don't know if I could say he pulled it off. This was a lot of drama. I don't know if I'd say he pulled it off.
Over the last few years. It feels like every month I see something pop up in my recommended about some guy who cheated and deceived the whole community. At this point, it's part of the Minecraft culture.
Yeah.
And so because of that, the community,
everyone loves to cheat
has
in Minecraft.
a lot of trust issues when it comes to records. Whether it be a speedrun record, a PvP record, a ranking system, you name it. This is a very low trust community when it comes to the competitive scene. So by the time Marloww had become the #1 player of all time in PvP, those same suspicions were being put at the forefront yet again. Because she hadn't just beaten the best player of all time, which was It's Real Me, she had wiped the floor with him, sitting at 450 points while he was sitting at 330
That is kind of insane.
These points signify an accumulation of every single one of these 8 game modes. And Marloww was the only player on planet Earth that had gotten tier 1 in every single...
Like, okay, come on. You helped create the site. You probably helped run the entire site. And you are #1 in literally every category. Come on. Come on.
Single one of these game modes. Have you ever seen someone that is so skilled at driving, they're the best Formula 1 driver, drift car race driver?
Right, she doesn't even need hacks. She owned the site. Like, they could have just, like, ranked everybody else lower.
Rally car race driver, NASCAR race driver, just everything. They're the best at everything involving a car? No. And yet there she was, doing it. To some, this was an amazing achievement that needed to be celebrated, especially since she was a woman and you don't see many of those in Minecraft PvP. And to others, this was extremely suspicious, and it didn't necessarily have to do with gender. Well, actually, it kind of did, because many believed that Marloww wasn't even a woman. Some had reason to believe that the person behind Marloww was none other than Danger Mario, a player who already had a bit of a reputation on certain PvP servers, and who created Marloww as his persona. One of the first people to reveal this to the world would be the YouTuber Zay, uploading a video titled Marloww's True Identity, 3+ Years of Lies on May 10th, 2024. He would go very deep here. finding an old video of Danger Mario that was deleted off of YouTube and comparing his and Marlow's hotbar. And they
We're getting real. We're getting into the hotbar analysis.
played very similarly in that regard. He'd also compare their PC specs based on what Marloww said and what Danger Mario had already revealed to the internet. They would turn out to be using the exact same PC coincidentally. They would then argue that there's sufficient proof to prove that Danger Mario had used the Marloww account back in 2021 to test whether he'd get banned or not using the Meteor client in one of the PvP servers he was going on, saying that the Marloww account just so happened to be banned at the same time that Danger Mario had uploaded video talking about the same subject. At the time, Danger Mario used a TTS voice and never revealed his real voice. Look, this video would get a lot of attention because people already had their suspicions, but it would still get a lot of backlash as well. In 2025, someone would come in and type, "This aged like absolute shit." Someone else would say, "All happened because PvPers never heard of women. Bro isn't cooking." Skull emoji. And overall, he was seen as a complete madman who was prone to conspiracies and who just hated Marloww because she was a woman. But even though Marlow's community was very loyal and willing to defend her no matter what, it was getting hard to ignore just how skilled Marloww was to the point where it was almost inhuman. Back in 2024,
it's super suspicious. Like, if she just picked one game, like just one game to be like super good in or whatever, and then maybe was in like, I don't know, second or third or fourth or fifth for the other ones, it's like, come on. You like, it's just so it's so unrealistic. The fact that anybody believed this is actually crazy.
this was some of her haters' main
That's like the craziest
and
part.
eventually it would get too big to ignore because one of the co-founders of mctears.com, Learn, would also become convinced that Marloww has to be cheating. There's no way someone can be that good. It's just inhuman. So Marlow's walls were closing in around her. But even though you might think that this just might be the typical case of a cheater in the Minecraft community, where people keep calling them out, they keep denying it, and eventually they get caught, this here was very different. This was not like the Dream situation.
No, don't do this,
Dream,
Tim.
Marloww had a secret weapon, and that weapon was the misogyny shield. You saw it in some of the comments on the video we just saw. Oh, Minecraft player discovers what a woman is. You're just hating because you're insecure and a woman is top one.
Ultra gamer is going to be a slur in 4 years.
In the game that you play. I mean, of course, this would be the community's reaction. If a woman just as much says hi in an online game, she gets instantly killed. Marloww was aware of this, and seeing that she was getting never before seen criticism from the community, she decided to fully double down on this defense, creating a video response titled "My Experience with the Minecraft
that
PvP
thumbnail?
Community." A 2-hour, 14-minute video going through every piece of criticism ever laid upon her and presenting it with this thumbnail. And I mean, come on, you know, like...
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're saying so much of it because it looks like the defense that they used was, "I'm a girl, so everyone thinks I'm cheating and that it's impossible." It seems like that was their only defense.
Doesn't take a genius here. It makes it look like she's being assaulted by a mob of angry psychos just because she's a woman. And if you watch the video itself, that's mostly the arguments used here. The video would mostly focus on 2 topics, and Marloww would speak with, well, a female-sounding voice. It would make Learn, one of the co-founders of mctears.com, seem like a backstabbing psychopath who had it in for her just because she's a woman. The other part of the video would focus on the whole idea of totalitarianism, how she silences any critics, and how this whole thing, this whole hoax about how she's actually Danger Mario is nothing more but a carefully engineered lie to smear her. How, according to her, she believes that the Danger Mario account was created and owned by those same haters, how she has nothing to do with it. This video would get over 800,000 views, would be very well received, have a very nice like to dislike ratio, and the comments would be nothing but supportive. Reiterate.
Like, my haters created an account that just so happened to match everything before it came out. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's a very good defense.
That this is just a game. Or saying things like absolutely ridiculous the amount of obstacles you had to go through just because you merely existed. Many were convinced that this wasn't a topic about catfishing or cheating. This was purely insecure men who just couldn't stand seeing a woman be better than them in a game. It made the overall Minecraft community look bad. Something that this community truly didn't need, seeing as like every year there's a content creator that comes out to be some sort of child diddler. And it strengthened the misogyny shield defense to unprecedented levels for Marloww.
No way.
But again, while some were really concerned with the idea that this was a catfish, this wasn't a woman, at the time it overshadowed the main issue, the fact that she's a hacker, the fact that she's not playing legit, she's too good for a human being. This wasn't about gender. But after this video that was released in July 2024, if you...
The thumbnail has her pants off if you look. It does. I'm pretty sure she's wearing socks. I'm pretty sure these are just thigh-high socks, but the fact that they did draw the sock being pulled off of her foot is pretty insane.
You went to any Minecraft PvP content creator, even someone who was absolutely destroyed by her, with proof that she's cheating, you get immediately and utterly shut down. Because by that point onwards, if you had anything negative to say about Marloww, you were considered a misogynist in the Minecraft community. You were someone who simply hated women. You were an incel because Marloww did nothing wrong. And so, emboldened by this incredible support by the community, a few months later, around the end of 2024, Marloww would release a 17-page Google Doc titled The Future of MC Tiers. Here she would reiterate some of the points she raised in her video about Learn being a weirdo and about how the other co-founder, Enz, wasn't agreeing to removing him. This is when she would announce to the world that since she's the one who was paying for the infrastructure of MC Tiers, she'd be reclaiming her accounts to become the sole owner of MCTiers.com as well as its Minecraft PvP server.
A
She
full
has successfully
hostile
convinced the community
takeover.
that these two other co-founders were weird and that the website was going to continue.
That really is like, that's the defense that everybody does where they just go, these guys are weird for looking into this. Like, they're really weird for looking into this. Like, they're just kind of like, they're being really weird about it because, like, I'm a girl and they're looking into this so much. Like, don't look at my stats and the fact that they're super unrealistic. Aren't these guys so weird for that? And then, like, nobody else wants to be called weird, so they have to go along with it.
But instead of being co-owned by 3 people, it would be owned by her exclusively. There was nothing really suspicious or weird to be considered by the wider community at the time. And so, end of 2020.
How? I am just so like, this person is #1 in literally everything, and all they have to do is be like, well, I'm a girl and they're bullying me for being a girl. Like, I'm just in disbelief.
For onwards, this would somewhat be the status quo.
But I mean, she did kind of own the site. She owned the site, had a lot of sway in that regard as well. Like, you don't want to piss off the person who owns the site and does all the tests, because then your own rank will be lowered, and you can't risk that.
Reaching rank 1, Marloww would retire. MC Tiers would still be the top destination for any PvP related rankings, and on the surface, it seemed like
she got her bag and she's getting out.
But they weren't. And to be honest, it's mostly because this tier list is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. By this point, both Marloww and It's Real Me would have retired. They're not playing the game anymore. They're not participating in rankings anymore. And yet MC Tiers had this weird policy where even retired players get to stay on the overall leaderboard.
I wonder why they had that policy.
This meant that Marloww was #1. And since Marloww somehow managed to get tier 1 in every single fucking game mode, it meant that no one on planet Earth could ever hope to get #1. He had capped the points, 450 points, tier 1 in everything. Even if you were to get tier 1 in everything, you would only...
That's suspicious on its own too, where you're like, yeah, I own the site. I own the whole site now. The whole site is mine. By the way, game's over. I won. Game is over and I won. You guys can compete for 3rd place.
Only cap at 450 points, which makes you 2nd place. And
it's like the equivalent of like taking your ball and going home.
Reached it first. This meant that she had
the
a
math is not mathing.
on the tier lists for the Minecraft PvP community and on the #1 spot. Over time, people would start to find this ridiculous, and the criticism would intensify to never before seen levels. However, if you had anything to say about Marloww, her cheating, or her not being an actual woman, you would simply get banned from the MC Tiers Discords as a whole and blacklisted from the server. This meant that you could never hope to participate in this tier list that is considered to be the official tier list for Minecraft PvP, and you wouldn't even be able to play on the Minecraft server of MC Tiers. Anytime you open your mouth to say anything regarding Marloww that's negative, you would simply be banned for being a dirty, misogynist incel. The silencing would go on for almost 2 years, but it would finally reach a boiling point.
I guess I understand it.
When everything that Marloww had built would fall apart within the span of a few weeks, while also revealing to us her extremely disturbing master plan, which involved her purposefully waiting until things do reach a boiling point in order to fake her death on a call with some of the biggest Minecraft content creators you can imagine.
What?
The Minecraft PvP community would reach a boiling point around January 2026. Around this time, a handful of different YouTubers would release their own videos exposing Marloww, whether it be deception about the fact that she's a woman, or straight up talking about how she's a hacker, she's a cheater, and she's not actually that good at the game, providing as much proof as possible based on the gameplay we were given. As far as I can tell, this would all...
That did escalate quite quickly. I guess if you've dug that deep of a hole, what else are you gonna do?
Start on January 10th, 2026, when the YouTuber critically would upload the video titled The Art of Deception, Marloww, in which he'd argue that Marlow's moves were physically impossible, but also that her gameplay was simply inconsistent. He'd make multiple gameplay-specific arguments as to how Marlow's gameplay simply didn't make sense unless she was hacking, going up against someone using hacks himself to prove that her moveset was the same exact thing. It was just how a hacker would play. When he would bring any ounce of criticism up in the server,
and like no one else had ever tried to do that. I guess they couldn't, because they would ban all dissent or whatever. They would ban it all from the Discord, so nobody could say anything.
well,
I guess
he'd get banned for destructive behavior. So now
right.
he has
Yeah.
no
Okay.
access
He
to
also
MC
got
tiers
banned
and can't participate in the tier list. Unlike the videos released in 2024, this one would be received pretty well, with many agreeing. 6 days later, on January 16th, 2026, the YouTuber Mario Kart 617 would release a video titled The Curious Case of Marloww, in which he'd also argue, using some of the same arguments, that Marloww is simply not legitimate. There are some very obvious signs of aimbotting, as well as just straight up hacking. And all these videos had one thing in common, making the point that the referee shouldn't be a part of the competition. Marloww,
agreed.
Agreed.
Yes.
Allowed her
Absolutely. Yes. Why is that only being brought up now?
to get away with this for a long time without anyone being able to do anything about it, because she owned the tier list. So as you can see, these videos were coming out fairly frequently in January, and unlike back in 2024, they weren't being received as like conspiracy theorists, because these people weren't focusing on the fact that Marloww wasn't a woman. They were focusing on the fact that Marloww was cheating, regardless of gender. And even though Marloww was running her Discord like a totalitarian dictator, banning pretty much anyone with anything negative to say, these accusations of cheating would start to take hold in a very serious way in the community, to the point where even she couldn't ignore it. Even in her little totalitarian Discord, she had to make some sort of response. And eventually, she did. On January 23rd, 2026, Marloww would upload the video titled Hacking is sitting at over 1 million views. Starting it off with,
what a revolutionary statement. I said hacking is bad, so I don't hack, obviously.
Some text on the screen saying, for years, I have been accused of hacking, boosting, and other forms of anti-competitive behavior. Throughout the community, for years, people have used my name, skin, etc. in order to attempt to increase views. In recent times, this has been detrimental. A domino effect has led people to rapidly producing content claiming I hack. It certainly does get clicks.
Okay, no longer using the girl card, using the your clout chasing card.
I will be proving my legitimacy in a public manner, as it's the only way to make it properly accessible to outsiders coming across slander. So for this, Marloww would show a hand cam of her mouse. That's it. No keyboard. She'd use some excuse about needing to use a keyboard tray, right? But you can't even see the key.
Saying everyone is just clout chasing and using your name for clicks is actually like, yeah, the dumbest defense possible. Like you're a popular person. That's why they get clicks, but it's also because you're hacking. The Pirate Software Playbook.
Keyboard, which is funny because some of the main accusations were relating to the hotbar and how quickly she switched between items that wasn't humanly possible. But anyway, she would show a hand cam and
the wig is terrible, and also this is the worst way to do a hand cam. The hand cams have to be like top down. This is the stupidest way to do a hand cam.
The many people watching this who also happen to watch the
like what are we looking at? We're just looking at like a mouse move a little bit. Right, they needed to get the wig in there. Yeah, true.
Other instances in which she destroyed pro players.
The wig, and don't forget the pink sweater, right? Because, you know, you want to be a girl. Obviously, you got to wear the pink sweater.
You could see something very interesting. The fact that
no one wears long hair that far forward unless you want to prove you have hair. That's true. I have pretty long hair, and right now it's all behind my neck because I don't want it in my face. It's annoying.
It was extremely slow. Okay, this was nothing compared to the gameplay we had seen of Marloww previously. This was not the same Marloww that beat Clown 100-0. You know why? Because this actually looked like a human being playing. Those other clips weren't. Marloww would also show this all happen on a brand new laptop, trying to prove that there were no hacks involved whatsoever, and then would go on to show the entire PC, right? A forensic screenshot. That's the majority of the video. That's like 1 hour, 40 minutes of the video. It's safe to say that most people didn't really watch this. But the point that Marloww was trying to make here is that no, there are no hacks on my PC, and my gameplay is actually legit, but it actually would backfire very hard. This was just another dream hiring an astrophysicist scenario. Marloww had
I don't necessarily know if it's that. I feel like this is much shoddier of like a defense, you know?
Fully thought out the initial video that she had made back in 2024, making herself out to be a victim being attacked by the Minecraft community for being a woman. But this was different. This felt like she was digging herself deeper into a hole that she had created. That's because her answers to the many questions the community had only ended up raising even more questions. Why are you hiding your keyboard? Why is your gameplay so different? Why are you so slow? Something just wasn't adding up. So barely a week after uploading this video, as more and more people start to ask questions and as certain content creators also started to ask these questions, Marloww would make this statement in her Discord server saying, "Hey everyone, I'm making this post to announce that I will be transferring ownership of MC tiers and leaving all of my related staff positions. Ownership will be transferred to Rai, who as many of you know has been a long-term staff member and contributor to the project. Over time, it has become clear that the bitterness towards my position has grown to a point where it now actively detracts from the community itself. I believe that my presence is no longer ideal for the health and stability of the community, and that transferring ownership is circumstantially necessary. I would like to make something clear though. I reject the claims of corruption, theft, and abuse."
You cannot reject the claims of corruption when you are the top player in your own ranking. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. Like, it's just obvious.
Use that have been made
Spoken like a true politician.
My decision to transfer ownership does not serve as a concession to being guilty of these claims. Despite leaving, I will not allow my previous reputation as an owner to be tarnished. I intend to release an extensive video covering.
You tarnish your own reputation by being the #1 spot in your own leaderboard. Lol, people won't stop investigating me, so I'm out. I'm not guilty though.
And conclusively debunking these claims. In fact, it's among my top priorities at the moment. And due to the totality of the claims being made, it will take some time to complete. On a personal level, this is a deeply disappointing decision for me to make. I've invested an enormous amount of time, effort, and care into building this community throughout the many years that I've been
building this community so everyone can worship me. So everyone can worship me as being the best Minecraft player. Trust me, I control the points and the leaderboards, but I'm the best Minecraft player. Everybody trust me on this, okay?
And repeatedly met with hatred and vitriol along the way. I still intend to remain part of the competitive scene. Competing has always been one of the core reasons I have been as immersed in the game as I am, and I'm not yet finished fulfilling my ambitions. I believe people will also get to see once more that my success as a player was never a result of any stat position I held, but rather was the result of my mindset and dedication towards becoming a better player. Something that I want to note is that I've been largely offline on Discord. I have signed in out of necessity to make this post, and my absence will remain the
basically saying I'm moving back to my old Discord. The truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Case for the foreseeable future while
if I make my own website, can I be the top ranked Minecraft player too?
focus on what's in front of me. I hope that Rai and all the other supporting staff members will have a positive experience with the community moving forward.
But I'm still the best Minecraft player, by the way.
The community was split. On one hand, they felt shame that they were part of a community that bullied a woman so endlessly that she had to leave, and they wanted their revenge. On the other hand, people saw this as an admission of guilt, as someone trying to run away,
She's
not
at the
that they were
top.
caught, not wanting to admit that they are a fraud. In the end, though, Marloww had chosen to leave. And with her, many others would follow, including Flowtives, a well-known player in the community who had previously defended Marloww against the hate and vitriol she had received, that now said he believes she's cheating. Additionally saying that he's very frustrated with the tier list system because almost like 40% of the top 200 players are just hackers in his opinion. Things felt like they were completely falling apart, but this was just the beginning. This was nothing compared to what would happen next. On February 12th, 2026, the YouTuber Refwan would release a video titled Marloww, the biggest cheater in Minecraft history. Here, we'd get some of the most detailed analysis on the internet when it came to why and how Marloww cheats, going frame by frame to show that it's physically impossible as to how fast Marloww would switch items on the hotbar. The only way to do so is hacking. That's literally how it looks when you hack, as well as going deep inside the math of it all. This would really analyze all sides as well, trying to view this.
I love when they use math. Math is such a good... Yeah, this is statistically unlikely is always the best defense. I mean, I guess for Minecraft, it has to be.
From different viewpoints. Okay, what if she's innocent? Then that means this happened. Well, if she's not innocent, that means this happened. Additionally, he'd reach out to some of the top players in the community, as well as people who are specialists when it comes to Minecraft hacks. Not a single person sided with Marloww.
They should have gotten an astrophysicist to do this for them.
And this to many was enough proof. She's 100% cheating. There's no arguing about it anymore. People are finally not scared to talk about it. But again, you'd be mistaken to think that this is where things ended. Because now that people understood that Marloww was hacking, next up came the accusation that was already shut down a couple years ago for sexism, which was the fact that Marloww wasn't even Marloww.
Here we
He
go.
was a man that was pretending to be a woman. On March 15th, 2026, the same YouTuber, Refwan, would upload another video titled The Marloww Interview featuring Danger Marloww. In this video, Refwan would get into a call with Marloww and ask her to prove that she's a woman by saying some very simple words, nothing crazy. And so Marloww took the bait, thinking that this was going to be simple. But Refwan had carefully planned this out. But before we get into this, you have to understand how Marlow's real voice sounded, the one that was shown in her previous videos. Listen.
To lay the red carpet for a new prospect to replace me by exiling me from the community. Well, to most people, this video seemed like it was intended to serve as the
So this was how she sounded in her 2024 video in which she accused the community of dogpiling her. Now listen to how she sounds on the call with Refwan when he would ask her to say some very simple words. Cat, key, cow, cake, cookie, kick.
Brought a true tear to my eye.
cat, key, cow, cake, cookie, kick, coke. Can you sing a song for me? I'm not gonna sing a song for you.
So look, it sounded very robotic,
no.
suspiciously so. He would then ask her to sing a song. She doesn't want to sing a song. Okay, fine. He would then ask her a very simple request, the final request. Please, just say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do with the proper pitch, right? Like not do, re, mi, fa, no, like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do.
Oh, no.
And so yeah, watch what happens.
Okay, okay, just say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. You don't have to sing it, just change pitch. That's it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She's nowhere to be found.
Oh.
She's still online, on the phone, nowhere to be found.
Oh. Silent.
Can't even say the
Silent.
simple
It's silent.
sentence, right? Like
Silent.
a 5-year-old
It's
can
silent.
do this.
Type in the message.
Oh! Gone!
After 1 minute and 13 seconds of pure silence, Marloww would disconnect and then would conveniently
Not
say
saying
that the power cut
anything.
out in her state. Yeah, how convenient. Things were now looking horrendously bad for Marloww. Not only were people convinced that she was a straight-up hacker, but
Should I prove I'm not using a voice changer? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
now it was about the fact that she wasn't even a woman. In fact, he was pretending to be a woman this whole time.
Danger
But
Mario
why?
is back.
To what end? What's the goal here?
Robotic.
Who is this Danger Mario, and what the hell does he want from this community? What was the plan? Well, after this video from Refwan, we would find out, and it would be way more disturbing than any of us
My voice mod is really advanced, okay?
could have ever imagined. On March 18th, 2025, the YouTuber Aximity would upload a video
The
titled
dastardly
Marlow's True
Danger
Identity,
Mario.
in which he claims that someone close to Danger Mario who knew him would join his Discord, claiming he had text messages dating back all the way to 2023 that would expose him for who he truly was and his entire plan involving Marloww. So these two would communicate on the messaging app known as Telegram, and this leaker with messages dating back to 20.
That's true. No girls on the internet. We're going straight back to 2010. No girls on the internet. I have to go back to Neopets and
2023 would be referring to this other person as Danger, aka Danger Mario, the person accused of being behind the control of Marloww. Back in December 2023, we could see the
Danger
plans
Mario.
that Danger Mario was having for
more
Marloww,
like 2004.
saying, but next
Okay.
year I'm going to hard grind YouTube and commentate content by cloning an AI voice impression of Marloww. I'll rack up a bunch of subs and become pretty well known, then I might open up a large-scale
This is like this is another thing where it's like I just don't even believe that this is a true message, like that these are faked, because this is such a like the villain reveals their master plan to you. Like, y'all, it's my evil plan right here. This is exactly what I'm gonna do. Like like this is just too much.
Minecraft server, as they are extremely profitable.
It's a
I have
double
a Discord
grip.
server full of social media influencers and server admins, and I'm going to use that to fully prepare the blacklist, which is basically a list of players that have been known for malicious activity like swatting, grooming, doxing, etc. I'll be able to gain camaraderie with a lot of relevant servers and influencers simply by running something so community oriented. Hell, in 2024, Danger Mario would send the leaker an image. In it, we can see Discord messages, and more importantly, in the yellow highlighted text, we can see Marloww being either replied to or pinged. This only happens when you're the person being pinged or being replied to. So he's right here showing that he's actually Marloww. This leaker was someone who definitely was very trusted by Danger Mario. Back in 2024, as Marloww was getting a lot of backlash and needed to address the community.
It's insane to do this in the first place. Why would you tell anybody your master plan like that? Come on.
In some way, Danger Mario would write these statements and then send them to this leaker to ask his opinion. And one of the most interesting things in these text messages would be how in January 26, 2024, Danger Mario would already be pre-planning to release the infamous video known as My Experience with the Minecraft PvP Community on July 2024. He would, in his own words, say, indeed.
You ask your bro, you say, hey man, what do you think about my evil plan, bro? What do you think about my evil plan, bro? And they're like, nice. Nice thumbnail. That's fire.
This next vid is going to be about the community. It'll be really good for sparking drama and people sympathizing. Should redirect the haters and gain tons of support. The leaker would say, nice thumbnail. Yeah, that'll definitely spark drama.
Me showing you my full evil plan in a full presentation and you reply, nice, thumbs up emoji.
Which Danger Mario would say, I might be able to attain full ownership of the tier list in doing this, showing that this was the plan all along. Additionally, in these messages,
the plan to take over the Minecraft tier list.
We'd see Danger Mario sending this leaker an image of the hacks that he
Honestly, yeah, are you truly my bro if you don't go along with my evil plan and my pyramid scheme?
he's using. It was an add-on to the client that he was using, the Meteor client. The reason why it went undetected for so long was because there was only one version of this. It was coded by someone named SNQ, purely just for Danger Mario. We'd also understand why Marloww sounded so weird in Refawn's video. That's because he'd be planning ever since January 2024 to generate an AI clone of himself talking in the Marloww voice. Apparently, Danger Mario had a pretty good effeminate voice. The guy had...
Okay, if that's true, then why not just use his real voice? Why not just use his like girl voice or whatever instead of the AI thing? Wouldn't that have solved everything? Like, wouldn't he have been able to like reply to those like, you know, in girl voice, I guess? Maybe he probably had to artificially pitch it up, I guess. But it seems a little bit pointless to train an AI on your own voice and then not use just your own voice to prove it's not AI.
A high-pitched voice, I guess, and would want to train an AI to speak like him, and he would actually start using it for videos. This is when the leaker would link a video of a collab between Marloww and someone else, I guess, and would say, was this the AI voice? It's pretty good. To which Marloww would say, or I guess, yeah, Danger Mario would say, no, that was not good enough for me. I did that like 1 year and a half ago, and he uploaded it late. It bothered me. Next vid will be a lot more legit sounding. And so, of course, when it comes to these text messages, some people would say that it's probably too convenient, right? This really features
Sorry, I didn't read enough of the evil plan.
Everything here. Well, Ximity didn't just upload this video without doing any research or really looking into this. He'd go above and beyond and would attach every single bit of proof this leaker had about Danger Mario in a Google Drive. We'd even see a video of the leaker himself opening Telegram on his phone to show that all of these messages are legit. They're not made up, they're not photoshopped, they're not fake. This is exactly why the final part of this video is so damn disturbing. Genuinely, in all my time looking at like content creator drama, I've never seen something so disgusting, so audacious. In messages with the leaker as early as December 2023, Danger Mario would understand that eventually this whole Marloww persona will be exposed. This is when he'd come up with what he'd call the peer plot, saying, I'm going to fake Marlow's death by jumping off of a bridge with the camera facing the other way. I'll do it in a group with Marlow's closest friends and a few influencers. But before that, I'm going to spread false allegations about
this evil-ass plan! Me sending my evil plan!
her from an alt, which I have already received staff positions on, grouping allegations. I've already built up the realism in Marloww committing...
You're good. This guy had a full-on evil plan all worked out. He was like, I even know how I'm going to end it. I'm going to spread fake grooming allegations, and then I'm going to fake my own. And then I'm going to pretend to jump off a bridge.
Suicide and vent conversations to her friends. Anyways, the grouping allegation video is more of a spark because I know the community is going to freak out over it. I'll have fully faked evidence and it will look legit. I think starting the Minecraft server would be pretty smart though first. There are some people I want to help as well that I know as Marloww. So I need to...
Sending my evil ass plan to the group chat to get a second opinion on it. Like, what the hell? Don't tell anyone you're gonna do this.
Attain some kind of financial success as well. Hyde thinks it's probably a poor decision to do the peer plot, but
Me, when I tell my bro my fake evil plan and they say, I mean, you will make an impact.
my concern is that I know that this won't last forever and eventually something will come out. So I have to be able to do something like this before it ends, then I'll be successful in my goal. He'd even go as far as to say that if people would find out that the whole suicide attempt was fake, they'll just reverse it later, saying that he was in a mental hospital for months. It's just absolutely disgusting. It's mind-boggling that someone like this was able to get away with this for this long, all while throwing an entire gender under the bus. And for what? Some money? Some fame? Really? This is how far you'd go just to get that? Let's not forget that Marloww was an inspiration for a lot of female gamers. This person, or at this point, persona, had a lot of fans, both male and female. People who had bothered to defend her, people who had bothered to be there for her in her most vulnerable moments.
I'm like,
this would have traumatized
truly
so many
speechless.
people. And this dude's over here talking about it casually like he's about to go for boba tea on a Sunday. I mean, dude, this Danger Mario guy is ridiculous. At some point, he'd be working with someone in order to make the MC tiers work.
I don't know if ridiculous is the word I would use. More like, yeah, like an actual narcissist.
Website, right? This was meant to be a joint venture. They were meant to work together. This meant that the person who made the website trusted Marloww, or Danger Mario. It's the same person. Well, Danger Mario would just simply steal the entire website without really paying this person or even working with them like the promise was. And that's actually how the current MC Tiers website would exist. This whole design was stolen by Marloww. The person who got scammed had to make an entirely different website on their own, and it's called PvPtiers.com, which is now a competitor to MCTiers.com, but still not as popular. And I think the most ironic thing in all this is that Aximity had actually made a video about Marloww almost a year ago, back in 2024. But he got harassed so badly by Marlow's community, called a sexist, an incel, misogynist, etc., that he ended up having to delete his entire channel. But there he is, back, and this time fully vindicated. To say that this absolutely shattered the Minecraft PvP community would be an understatement. This was an unprecedented earthquake.
Actually,
and now the memes
crazy
that have come out of
villain
this
plot.
are endless. One of my favorites is how Marloww was able to get tier 1 in everything except singing Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Si Do. But of course, the main question was, now that this is all out, what did Marloww have to say about it? What was Marlow's response? She, or now he, was always there when controversy would get this big, was always willing to
got caught by literal music notes. At that point, turn the mod off and do it with your real voice. If you're AI cloning your own voice anyway, I just don't understand.
to respond. And even though most people would have expected Marloww to completely disappear after this, surprisingly, they would send a message in Discord to everyone on March 18th, 2026, in which they would say, at everyone, hi, I want to provide you all with a proper explanation
Not
for everything
nice,
that is
thumbs
currently
down.
going on. I'm generally reserved when it comes to addressing allegations, since I feel like it's best to do it in video form, but this controversy has reached a point where I can't not say anything. Increasingly, this has blown up to the point where havoc is being wreaked upon my reputation, my friendships, and my mental health. As most of you probably know, over the course of the year, I have been receiving cheating allegations. Over time, these allegations shifted from cheating into something more personal. For a long time now, I have been working on an extensive video to debunk the allegations being brought against me. The video has taken up countless hours of work and is already over 2 hours long. It would be already out by now, but every day more allegations come. It is challenging to keep up with the quantity and scope of new relevant videos and allegations to cover. I'm going to have to draw the line for how much I can include in this video. I will be finishing up everything I have already currently planned to include and will be publishing the video as soon as I am able to. Due to the new serious allegations that have come out, I will have to create another video after the release of my next one. While my upcoming video will provide a large amount of insight into many of the claims being made, it is important that I address everything. Hence the need for another afterwards. Recently, allegations surrounding the player Danger Mario have resurfaced, and all the subsequent allegations that come as a result. The driving factor behind all of this is the quantity of the supporting evidence. My belief is that anyone who is judging the situation this way is unaware of the extent of impersonation that this player, as well as his surrounding group of friends, have gone to in order to ruin me. I've already made a video which included this in extreme detail, see section Totalitarianism in my experience with the Minecraft PvP community. The most compelling part of the evidence being used against me is the fact that it has instances of conversations and personal details discussed about me within it. My ADHD as an example. In my full debunk video,
My ADHD as an example? No way.
I'll be addressing the origins of how these things were obtained as well as what is actually going on throughout the situation. It's important that I reiterate, people claiming to be me does not mean that they are me. I understand that the scale of the evidence might appear significant, but it must be remembered that this is the same group of people that are willing to create an entire 2B2T YouTube series in an attempt to lure me into getting further conned. I strongly advise people refamiliarize themselves with what was covered in my old video, as it demonstrates the persistent pattern of behavior. that serves as
Literally, the
foundation for
defense is go watch my old video with my awful thumbnail.
everything happening today. Now look, I know what you might be thinking. How did she exactly disprove the fact that she's Danger Mario in this 2-hour, 14-minute video? Well, yes, it will be in the section totalitarianism, and it would mostly focus on a few interesting individuals that wouldn't stop harassing her about the fact that she's Danger Mario. These people would inconsistently accuse Marloww of being Danger Mario, while also saying that they used to know Danger Mario on the Anarchy server that he used to play on back in 2021. Marloww would claim that this is harassment and that what they were saying was inconsistent, but the problem was that this felt like Marloww was purely focusing on these people because it was easy to focus on them. It was easy to make them look bad because they didn't seem to be the most mentally stable individuals, and that worked at the time. But right now, this is all outdated. These text messages that were leaked from Telegram are completely
Bunch
different.
of crazy people
You can't
trying to
fake
cancel other
dates on
crazy
Telegram.
people.
If something was sent in 2023, it was sent in 2023, and we have proof. The person opened Telegram and showed us it's not photoshopped, it's not edited. How would Marloww explain that a screenshot was sent from someone who's being referred to as Danger, in which he was being pinged on the Marloww account? It just doesn't make sense. It's very easy to
I guess
tell
that's
people,
pretty
"Oh, go watch
damning.
this."
Out of all of the evil plan.doc that was sent, the really damning evidence is linking a screenshot where they were like being at as Marloww or whatever. I guess that's like the easiest, like the only real evidence there. Everything else is like crazy.
This 2-hour video that I know you won't even watch to prove that I'm innocent, but in reality, these Telegram messages pretty much debunk everything. In the end though, Marloww seems to care more about the fact that people are exposing that, well, he's a man, compared to the fact that he's a cheater. The evidence and the proof are simply overwhelming. This
Have a
is
good
not
night.
real gameplay, this is not real skill, and this has nothing to do with whether this is a man or a woman. But it was Danger Mario himself or
Oh, thank you for the raid. Hello, Rose Bros. Welcome in. We're watching some videos.
Marloww, or whatever you want to call this person, that very conveniently used the fact that they were a woman to deflect any criticism,
Right,
throwing an
yeah.
entire gender under the bus. At the same time, the master plan of faking their death in order to run away from having to take responsibility for being a fraud is peak degenerate behavior. And you know what's crazy? Throughout my research, I saw people who didn't even play Minecraft.
Does this video mention at any point that Marloww is just Mario with the I replaced with an L and then a W slapped at the end? Get this guy on the case. Get this guy on the case. We've got a detective in chat. Get this guy on the case.
PvP defending Marloww, right? Because they just happened to be a woman.
It is
or they just
true,
happened to be
though.
someone who wanted to stand up for women's rights and saw people bullying Marloww, thinking that it's simply because a woman happened to
Wario
be good at
too.
a game and was being bullied for it because of insecure men. The person behind Marloww planning to do something like this is the biggest form of insult for anyone who's dealing with mental health issues,
Like,
and even
yeah.
content creators who went through the same.
Like, yeah, but I feel like anyone who legitimately believed that this person was number one in every single rank of a site that they ran, like, it's so unbelievable.
thing and actually went with taking their own life. One example that comes to my mind is Etika, and it's just disgusting that someone like this would want to attempt to recreate that,
It was a
all
bad
just to get
grift
away
from
from
the
the
start.
responsibility of something they created. Look, usually I wait for someone's response, but I doubt that Marlow's response is going to be adequate. I doubt that it's going to be any different from the last
I
video.
wonder
they
if their
made.
response
This
is
just
out.
another dream situation where we have so much proof that they're cheating, and while they can try to
Okay, you really can't compare this one to Dream. Dream was not writing manifestos to his friends. Come on.
and talk for 2 to 3 hours about it, nothing is going to change. In fact, the more you talk about it, the more you'll seem suspicious, because why do you need to explain so much? The community has already made up its mind, and even people who used to call others misogynistic for calling out Marloww are now siding with them. This was never about gender, and it shouldn't ever be about gender. This
Dream was like the normal person version of this.
is about someone who took over an entire community illegitimately in the most manipulative way possible. And if there's anything for you to
Honestly,
learn from this, it's to never defend content creators blindly.
It was
Look at all the different perspectives. and then
absolutely
make up your mind.
pre-planned. We saw
Otherwise,
their
you'll be
whole
severely
villain
disappointed,
document.
like many of the people who gave everything for Marloww, now feeling like idiots. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see 2 exclusive videos where I yap uploaded
Well, good video, honestly. It was pretty entertaining. That was actually a crazy story. I was like, if I am ever canceled and my villain document comes out, I don't even know what to say. You really can't like. If you get into Minecraft drama, we will blindly defend you with slurs. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. Thank you. Be sure to defend me when my villain document comes out, okay? Thank you.